Boom, here I am. Hey, everybody. How's it going? It's me, Victor, and I'm back. As you can see, I'm wearing a shirt that matches my microphone. Very important. By the way, if you are watching this live and you comment on any platform, whatever platform you're seeing this on, if you're seeing it on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Twitch, you can just leave a comment and I'll see it and I'll be able to respond to you in real time-ish, probably with a 15-second delay. And remember, I will answer questions of any kind of question. So just ask your questions, put them in the comments, and I will answer. We're probably going to be live for about between 10 and 15 minutes. And then after that, I will leave you alone because tonight after this is date night. That's right. Me and the wife are having date night during the pandemic. What are we going to do? Who knows? It's date night. Anything could happen. So recently, if you guys know me, you know that I'm a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love role-playing. And I love playing Dungeons and Dragons with people who've never played Dungeons and Dragons before. I think that's one of my favorite things, just like play the game with people who just have never played it before. And recently, what I was thinking about was I wanted to design a system that was easy for anybody to just jump into and play. And I'm doing it. I'm designing a system. I'm designing my own role-playing system. For a lot of people, this is going to be super boring. So I'm just going to keep talking about it. I know often I talk about different subjects and some of the things are way more interesting than making your own RPG player. But in this case, that's what we're talking about today. So, if you got a problem with that, too bad. Anyway, so when I was deciding to make my own RPG game, and this is a tabletop game, not an RPG game as in not an RPG game as in a video game. Although I do want to make an RPG video game too. But when I decided to make my own RPG game, one of the things I did was I looked at other very simplistic RPGs. There's one out there that's amazing that I really think is fun, and I think people should try and play it. And the game is called Roll for Shoes. And so Roll for Shoes is like a super simple game. It has 7 rules. And with those 7 rules, you can then play the RPG. I want to tell you what those 7 rules are, and then maybe you should play Roll for Shoes, because that sounds like an awesome RPG. And if anybody wants to play Roll for Shoes with me, please let me know. Let's play Roll for Shoes together. I'm going to give you all of the lowdown on Roll for Shoes right now, okay? So this is how Roll for Shoes works. There are 7 rules. Now, if you are a reader, you're probably reading all these rules right now, but I'm going to go through them. First of all, this is the main part of playing any RPG, role-playing game, for those of you who don't know what that is, but it is RPG. Anyway, one of the main parts of playing any RPG is there's usually a dungeon master or a game master or somebody who leads the game, who's the main storyteller, and then everybody else just plays characters in the game. And then one of the things that you do as a dungeon master is you ask people what they want to do. So that's rule number 1 is say what you want to do and then roll a number of D6s, okay? D6s are 6-sided dice. I don't know how much you know about RPGs when I'm talking about this. Like, you could know a lot, you could know nothing at all. Anyway, but roll number of D6s. Now, if the sum of your roll is higher than the opposing roll, the thing you want it to happen happens. So that's like the main point of the game. You say you want to do something, and then someone rolls. The DM rolls against you, I guess. And then if your roll is higher, then you win. Which is different than a lot of games. A lot of games, you have to have a certain level of skill. You can't just say, I want to try to lift the truck and throw it. And then if you make the roll, then you lift the truck and throw it. Okay, and the number of D6s you roll is determined by the level of the skill you have. And at the start, you have only one skill which is do anything, and that is at skill level 1. Yeah, I really want to play this. Does this interest anybody besides me? Because this game sounds like so much fun, and it sounds ridiculous. Okay, if you roll all 6s, you get a new skill specific to the action, 1 level higher than the one you used. Okay, so I guess that means if you roll all 6 the first time, it's easy to get from 1 to 2 because you can roll a 6 on 1 dice, but then you have to roll 2 6s on 2 dice, 3 6s on 3 dice, etc., etc., etc. That's actually a good thing, which I think is a great way to make your skills go higher. Okay, and then for every roll you fail, you get 1 XP. And then XP can be used to change a die roll into 6 for advancement purposes only. I get it. So every time you fail, then you get like 1 XP point, which you can use. Like if you're teetering, if you're 3rd level at something and you've got 2 5s and your 2 6s and 1 5 on the dice, you can change one of those 6s to 6 so you can advance to the next level because of your XP, because of your experience with failure. That I like too. I'm actually going to research this and like a bunch of other simple systems so that it can eventually make my own RPG. I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons right now with friends, and I never like to learn the latest the latest rules for Dungeons and Dragons because I hate sifting through books and I hate having to haggle over rules. I want the rules to be super simple and specific so that people can play the game like very, very easily. And then once I do that, I want to write it all up in a little booklet, and then I want everyone to be able to have a copy of that booklet, and I want to send it out to everybody so that they can play this RPG that I create. I've already thought of a name for the RPG. I'm not going to say it right now. Make sure I grab the Instagram and the .com before I do that. But I'm going to make sure that it all happens. Anyway, I don't know how your apocalypse is going. Mine is going fine. The wife and I are considering, we're actually just starting, just at the very beginning of looking at houses. We're thinking about buying a house, maybe. That's some real marriage shit. We're about to be married for real. Buying a house, that's a lot. That's something special. Well, I'm going to tell you a quick story. And by the way, you can interrupt me at any time by asking a question for wherever you are. And if you want to ask a question, I will let you. I will give you an answer right here and now and put you at the top of the list. Usually what I do on Friday Free-for-Alls also is I dig for questions online, but I forgot to make a post asking people for questions that I could answer. So instead, I'm here doing this. I'll tell you what I want to do, though. What I want to do is I want to show you something that happened recently. So for me, you know that I make cartoons. Well, recently, some guy did an entire breakdown of a cartoon that I did. What he did was this cartoon that I did for the New Yorker, he did an entire episode of his own web show, like breaking down like what my cartoon means. I'm talking about me as an artist. I'm going to find it, and then we're going to take a look at it. Let's hold on a second. I'm going to grab it on Facebook. I hope you are all doing well. I think you can hear that music. I don't know if the music comes in the same timing that I hear it. Here we go. I'm jumping on Facebook right now, and then I'm going to find that. I'm going to find that post that the guy made about me. Hold on a second. If I search for my name and the New Yorker, I think it will come up. It's actually one of those things that I have to approve because he was. I have to approve it because he was trying to put it on my page by tagging me, but then I didn't approve it to be tagged on my page, and now I cannot even. I can't find it. It's pretty weird though, because he went to have somebody try to break down your art. Wait, maybe this is it. No, this is actually somebody who just. You know what? I'll let you see what I'm doing over here. Take a look. So somebody posted it. Michael Bernard. That's a friend of mine. Yay! I like Michael. But I'm trying to find out where the guy was that posted the video where he was trying to break it all down. I guess we have no idea. Wow, a lot of people reposted this thing from the New Yorker. And a lot of people actually added their own 2 cents into what they think the whole thing is. A talented man who I am fortunate to know. Oh, that sounds nice. Oh, I'm too embarrassed. What is this? That's not the New Yorker. That is... Oh, look, here's a picture of a frog I drew. Do you guys like frogs? I drew this frog because I'm dope. Dope-ass frog drawer. I'll draw anything. This is the most boring episode I think I've done because I didn't prepare with that thing. I didn't... I've been busy today. There's a lot. I got a lot going on. You guys know I have a stapler. I've got a 3-hole punch. Okay, you see that behind me? Look at this. I've got a whole filing cabinet. You know what's in that filing cabinet? It's files, everybody. I got a whole filing up over here. I've got a whole filing cabinet full of files, and then I have to do stuff with those files. Sometimes I take them out and I read them, and then I take in that information and I make decisions based on the information that I've gathered. I don't have time, all right, to be looking up videos online to show you all the time. Sometimes I've got to do my work. Yes, I'm trying to be on the internet every day live and do this. Yes, I owe it to you to prepare. Did I prepare today? No. Instead, what you do is you get to hear my anger that I'm putting toward you, which is really anger toward myself, okay? Even though I'm saying I'm mad at you, it really is anger pointed inward toward me because I didn't prepare. So I guess what you're seeing is me having a mini breakdown because I'm so upset that I didn't prepare. And I was about to say I didn't have time to prepare, but I could have figured it out. I could have figured out. I could have figured out and had time to prepare, but I didn't do it. Why? Because I didn't think it was important. Thought I was just going to wing it. Couldn't find the file that I was going to talk about. If I had just taken 2 minutes ahead of time, I could have found the file. I could have showed you exactly what I meant, but I didn't even do that. So I have to take this one's my fault. This one's on me, guys. And I'm apologizing for not preparing today. But for those of you who stuck around this far when I didn't prepare today and I've just been kind of like rambling about nonsense, I'm going to give you a gift, all right? I'm going to give you a gift. Here it is. Just 1 second, it's almost here. I'll show you a drawing that I haven't ever shown anybody. Hold on a second. Gotta enter the secret code on my computer here. Okay, so this is important for 2 reasons. One, well, not important, but this is interesting for 2 reasons. So this is a drawing I did, but it's not important because of that drawing. It's important because I think it's interesting how I doodle and try to figure things out. So even though this is the drawing, I'm going to play back the time lapse so you can see my thought process when I was making this drawing, which I think is pretty funny. Hold on. I'm making the thought. Okay, here we go. And okay, it's going to the publish and export time lapse. Okay, so I can click on this now and I can show you my thought process when I was doing this drawing. It's pretty bad. Oops. I wasn't even drawing a bird. Started drawing some lady cartoon. And then it was too hard. So then I drew something which was easier, which is a bird. So this drawing, even though it's a cool drawing of a bird, is a personal failure. That's how I think, everybody. I'm an idiot. And I'm sorry that I'm such an idiot. Hey, Mooted. Nice of you to stop by and say neat. I was actually berating myself. Maybe you missed that part. Maybe you were here for it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mooted. He's a guy who shows up at my show almost every week at NYC Talent Show, and he's awesome. Mooted, you've got a stamp of approval. I relate to that thought process. Yes, I think a lot of people do. A lot of artists relate to the idea that they just like are hating on themselves so much sometimes. And sometimes I hate what I do. Like I'll look at something that I've made and I'm just like, what was I thinking? And then I'll show it to people, and often people react in a very different way than I think they're going to react, because sometimes I'll do stuff and I hate it. In fact, when I've said this before, when I did this cartoon that went viral in the New Yorker, when I did that cartoon, I hated the drawing. I did because I had only a certain amount of time to finish it, so I hated it. Like I would love to have redrawn this, and then now it's already been circulated to millions of people. So I could redraw it for myself, I guess, but yeah, it's too late. It's out there. It's too late. I don't know, but that's what life's about. Sometimes it's too late. Sounds pretty positive, right? Thanks everybody for hanging out. I will do this once a day. I'm going to try to make it more and more at 7 o'clock, I think, because I think it would be great to have like a consistent schedule. So if I can plan for 7 o'clock, I will do it at 7 o'clock every day. And I'll plan it out. And then we'll have something to do or something to talk about, or maybe an activity. Sometimes I play video games. That's one thing that I like to do on Saturdays. I like to play silly video games and put them up on the screen, usually puzzle games that I will do well at or do terrible at. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Okay, everybody? Thanks a lot for hanging out. I'm going to hit the button that turns off the machine. Here it goes.